Thousands of people in North Carolina are waiting for an organ transplant.
Yeah, the demand is greater than the supply, but new technology being researched in our state could change that thanks to 3D printers.
WNCN's Justin Quisberry looks at how it works and how it could help.
Just beyond the frozen pines and whispering pines, laughter fills this Moore County treehouse.
Giddy up, pony!
As 10-year-old Evie Wentz and her sisters horse around. It's a cheerful scene in sharp contrast to what Evie was dealing with exactly a year ago.
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
Last February, this tough little girl received a desperately needed kidney transplant.
I named him Gus Gus.
It's great to be able to be here home together as a family and to just be able to celebrate that Evie has made it to this milestone.
The kidney came from Jennifer Trapp, a friend at church.
I feel a great debt of gratitude towards Sister Trapp. She's a very nice lady.
Thank heavens for Jen and her willingness to give of herself, her selfless sacrifice so that Evie could have a better life.
A better life, still with challenges that she can enjoy from home and her treehouse, which is courtesy of Make-A-Wish.
It seems like it was so long ago, and to believe it's just been 1 year is amazing. Like, it flies by when you're feeling like a lot better.
So we waited for a long time, and then we had, I think, 3 different tries where we were called into the hospital and said, we've got a kidney for you, 3 or 4 times. And each time we sat and we waited, and she was on the list. She was either 2nd or 3rd on the list, and someone else would get the kidney.
So imagine a world without the wait list, one where a new organ could be printed.
When we think about 3D printed items, a lot of times we think about stiff plastic, but this is meant to actually bend so that it can function as it should.
That's great. It has the same properties as your normal ear would.
It's research that's underway at the Wake Forest Institute for Regenerative Medicine in Winston-Salem.
In this particular printer, you can print up to the 6 different cell types and materials.
Here you see an example of what printing an ear would look like.
We take a very small piece of tissue from the patient. We grow and expand the cells outside the body. We then take those cells and we mix those cells with what we call a bioink, or a material that will allow us to print the cells very much like you would using a typical desktop inkjet printer. But instead of using ink, we're using cells.
Printing could take up to 10 hours depending on the size of the organ, which could be as small as a pen tip or as big as a head.
Here at the Institute, we're working on over 30 different types of tissues and organs.
The Institute's director, Dr. Anthony ATALA, says once printed, doctors would keep the structure alive in an incubator that has the same conditions as the human body. After maturing for a week or 2, the new organ would go inside the patient.
What the printer does for us is it really gives us 3 things. It gives us scalability. We can grow these organs in much larger quantities. It gives us reproducibility because we can print the same type of organ in the same manner every time, and it gives you more precision, where we can actually be more precise in how we print these organs for human use.
Researchers have spent the last decade working on the 3-dimensional printing.
We have not yet implanted a solid organ in a patient, but we're working hard to try to get there in the future.
Solid organs like livers, lungs, kidneys, and hearts could still be many years down the line.
These materials are degradable. Actually, once inside the body, they degrade on their own, and the cells remain and make the tissue form and mature.
It gives some hope to the Wentz family.
I think that would just be amazing to be able to know that she wouldn't have to go and rely on somebody else's generosity again, or rely on just the luck of the draw, to be able to have something that may be able to be grown from her own cells that would match her body better.
Because transplanted organs eventually fail, and little Evie faces more surgeries.
But that means that in her early adulthood, she's looking at another kidney transplant. And 3 or 4 in her lifetime.
If in the decades that come they can make that work, that's the sort of thing that it's not the waiting game of, well, the kidney failed tomorrow, how many more transplants will she need in her lifetime? That would all be taken off the table, which would be phenomenal.
Justin Quisenberry, WNCN News.
And Dr. ATALA points out the waiting list for organs is only getting longer because people are aging better, living longer, and as a result, more organs tend to fail. He says that shows the need to look to alternate solutions such as 3D printing.
Wow, fascinating. You can find much more about the technology right now on our website. Just go to WNCN.com.